Hey guys, welcome back to the Charismatic Nerd. So today we're going to go over books better than The Prince by Machiavelli. Now, before we go any further, I do want to let you know that I do not hate The Prince, okay? I'm already known as the guy that hates 48 Laws of Power on the internet, so I don't need to add any more unnecessary hate. That being said, I don't mind The Prince. It does have some insightful points, yet too many people put it on a pedestal. When I started reading a lot more ancient works, I found that there were so many better works produced. They teach you so much about the power dynamics, human nature, and how to conduct yourself in a respectable manner. Although these works should be more well known, not many people are told about it like The Prince. But alas, let me show you some of the books that are better than The Prince. This book is a bunch of biographies of famous Romans and Greeks written by Plutarch. But this isn't your typical biography. Plutarch shows you so much more in his work. He shows you the best and the worst of human nature. He shows you which virtues are timeless and how they enhance individuals to personal greatness, regardless if they succeed or fail in their external life. On the other hand, Plutarch shows you the vices that continually destroy men. No matter how rich or powerful they are, these vices tend to be the downfall for so many. The reason why Plutarch's Lives is so much better than The Prince is because you get an idea of how to conduct yourself. You see which virtues to live by and which virtues to steer clear from. Even when you're dealing with challenging situations, politics, etc., Plutarch has examples to give you inspiration to navigate them. This book shows you the life of one of the most famous men in Japan. To give you more context, Hideyoshi was one of the first unifiers of Japan, and this was after 200 years of constant civil war, so Hideyoshi is kind of a big deal. But what is more fascinating about him is how he came from nothing. He came from a low birth, lived in poverty, yet he rose the ranks to be one of the most esteemed men in Japanese history. And one of the ways he did this was by his knowledge of human nature. This knowledge allowed him to navigate politics amongst his peers and enemies. And on top of all this, he still showed the admirable virtues of loyalty, kindness, and hard work. And the reason why this book is better than The Prince is because it provides an example of how to rise to power without being heartless. Hideyoshi was a generous and considerate person, so much so that when his warlord put him in prison, Hideyoshi acted like he was on vacation, and he did this so that he wouldn't cause any internal strife. If you've consumed my content for a little while, you know that I ride hard for Gracian. And the reason for that is simple. Gracian shows you and warns you about how cutthroat life is, how fickle people can be, and how life can sucker punch you. Yet, despite all this, he expects his reader to fulfill their potential as human beings without falling into the vulgar behaviors. This is the type of advice I wish I got in my early 20s when I was naive and idealistic, because Gracian would have sobered up my illusions but also guide me in developing myself. And the reason why Gracian's work is better than The Prince is because despite going through the rough parts of life, power, politics, he still shows you to keep your humanity. The Prince is too cold-blooded in the sense that you strive so hard for power but have to step on people, alienate others, etc. And that's personally not a life that I want to live. Yes, I know there's going to be conflicts and politics in dealing with others, but I want to be like Gracian and keep my dignity in the process. Alright guys, that's it for the books that are better than The Prince, but keep in mind, this is just my opinion and it could be total trash, but it's trash that I'm proud of. And of course, you should read all those books and make your own judgment, because at the end of the day, I'm just a random dude on the internet. But anyway guys, thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my newsletter, and guys, remember, you're not just any type of nerd, you're a charismatic nerd.